Welcome to the video. You probably can't hear me because it's windy, but anyways, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be showing you a little bit around the boat. We're going to be installing some new graphs on the boat. We're also going to be installing the trolling motor. This is going to be probably a 2-day thing of installation just because we're going to have to order a few things. We're currently up at the cabin. As you guys can see here, the pole barn truck is hooked up currently to the boat. Just getting some stuff figured out and situated with that. We're probably going to make a run to the store later just to get some more 14 gauge wire for the graphs. But like I said, enjoy this video. Monday we'll be fishing, but for now we're going to give you a little rundown on the boat, what I like to bring with, what graphs we use, what live imaging I use, and then just a little intro to the channel, intro to the boat, and I hope you guys enjoy the video and stay tuned for what's next. Alright guys, just pulled the boat out. Just gonna give you a little bit of a rundown here, give you what we're playing with here. So we have the Lund Pro V Tournament Series tiller, 18-foot. Like I said, new Lowrance Ghost. This thing is gonna be killer this year. Really excited to get that out. But what we're having to hook up today, HDS Live. This thing should be pretty damn nice. Have the live scope that we need to hook up as well. And then also another HDS Live. One for the bow, one for the stern. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let you guys know when I have an update. You'll see a B-roll here in a second, and see you when something comes up. First order of business, clean this boat up a little bit. So enjoy the time lapse. First order of business here, I'm going to cut off with this really not nice and dull. We're gonna cut this off here. This is some sticky tape. Godly. Alright. So, boom. Just like that. You can see we already mounted that. So, now all we gotta do here is take this, get the Eagle i9. So, which, by the way, for anybody wondering, as far as live imaging goes, I've had no complaints on the Eagle i9. I think for what it cost, it's well worth it, honestly. Especially, you get everything for $1,000. And when it comes to some of the other units, you're looking at $1,000 for the screen, another $1,000 for the attachments for it, like the transducer and everything. So I've been pleased with my Eagle i9. Does the job for sure. Will I upgrade in the future? Potentially, probably yes, just for clarity. But as far as learning the processes and how to use active imaging, I think it does a fine job. So yeah, that was pretty simple. Now we gotta figure out how we want to thread these wires. I'm gonna look into this, stay tuned, and I'll let you guys know when I figure it out. We're gonna have to get a little bit custom here. As you can see, that does not fit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark out these 4 holes in here, drill it, see if it fits. Hopefully it does, otherwise we're gonna have to figure something else out. Stay tuned. Alright, I actually lied. I'm not gonna start on the wiring quite yet. I'm gonna do that all at once. But we are gonna start by getting the other screen on. I've never moved these. I don't really know how it works. I'm more of a figure it out as I go type of guy. I'm guessing it goes something like that, yeah. But you know, that's not quite ideal since that thing's there. So I'm not quite sure how to actually move it now. But once again, I will see, because this one, you can pull it out left. That makes sense to me. And then this just moves because there's nothing there. But this one, how are you supposed to do it if there's this right there? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really make sense. Oh, there we go. Alright. Now, come on. There we go. Boom. Just like that. Got that off. So I'm actually going to put the rod holder on this one. Now the rod holder's there. I'm going to move. So now that this is here, I am going to move this track all the way up to the front, and we're going to mount this ball for one of the units. So let's do that. Let's see. So we actually took it all apart like that. Now never mind. Perfect. So now that's there. Put this on. And now I don't know if we're gonna want it here, just because that, I think we might want it over here. So I'm gonna move it one more time. Again, you can move these basically however much you want. That is something that I love about the Lund tracks. I'm pretty sure a lot of the boat companies nowadays do it. But I do wish I could kind of put it on that corner, to be honest with you. But, you know, we can't. So, we can get it as far to the corner as we can, but that'll have to do. And then same thing, I'm gonna have to move it like that. Alrighty. Now if I can get it over a size bit. Perfect. Can we move it anymore? Yes, we can. Perfect. Alright, so that's over as much as it's gonna be. Yeah. Pretty simple. Not too much to that. So, yeah, I've never really worked with these ram balls before, but essentially what I believe is this goes here, this tightens, and then screen right there, which works good for me. So I'm gonna hook this up. Stay tuned. Alright, so just got back from the store. Right. So we just got back from the store. Got some connectors, electrical tape, and essentially what we're gonna do, take this wire, hook up this wire via this connector. Okay. As we can see, it worked. So that's the good news. You know, but it worked. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some electrical tape on those wires, and the next thing I'm gonna do is basically the same thing, but I'm gonna do it for the front trolley motor. I'm gonna do it for the front graph. So same process, splicing the wires together, and we should be good to go after that. What's up, guys? It is now Sunday morning. I've skipped a few steps. I was able to get that back graph installed. I was able to get the front graph installed with the sonar, with the forward facing, I should say. We rigged up the boat. We're getting ready to get back home now. I still got to hook up some of the graphs once I get home, just the one front graph. But once we're hooked up there, everything will be set. I am really excited to get out tomorrow. Here's the boat right here. Everything is rigged up for the most part. Got her on the truck, and yeah, so I'll catch you guys once I get home. Welcome back. So we finally got everything all rigged up. I skipped a few steps, but check it out. So we got HDS Eagle i9. Finally got the trolling motor hooked up. Come back here, another HDS 9. That has side imaging. That's going to have our all of our controls for our trolling motor. That's going to be here, and then that's going to be our live scope. So everything was hooked up. Basically what I had to do is hook up right there. I had to hook up a new trolling motor plug. So there's that. I also had to put that on there. Everything works there. Mounted that, and we're just charging it right now. And then in here you can see there's the new battery with everything hooked up. It's currently charging. That's what that is. But yeah, so we were finally able to get everything hooked up, and yeah, so catch us tomorrow for the fishing. meet up with my dad who has the boat, and we're gonna get out there. Hoping to get out there around 8:15. Fish most of the day. There are supposed to be some pretty gnarly storms rolling through later this afternoon / tonight, so not 100% sure, how long we're able to be out there, but hopefully we hit them pretty hard this morning. I know the water temperature change with these last few days of weather should help a lot for these early season crappies. Especially yesterday was 80 degrees. It was the first time it hit 80 here in Minnesota for the year. So the water temp should have gone way up. So with that being said, I will catch you guys at the launch and get ready for a great day of fishing. Alright, so we got our first crappie of the day. Decent one. We are just using some slip bobbers with some minnows, casting deep into this bulrush. So we're definitely on them. Everything on the boat's working good, all the electronics. We're not going to keep any today, no need. We have plenty of fish. But first crappie of the season, pretty nice one there. Let's let her go, and I'll check back in when we get some big ones. Let's go. Alright guys, got another smaller, but still definitely an eater. Like I said, we're not keeping it today though, so he's gonna go ahead, throw that baby back, and let's get on to more. So basically this is what we're doing. Sitting on these cattails, or bulrush, whatever you like to call it, and throwing these bobbers into these pockets, and you'll see your bobber just click and then kind of start moving one way, set that hook and reel her on in. Yeah, that's basically it. What's up guys, we are back in the garage. Just got off the lake, and we did end up catching a little bit more fish, a few crappies. I caught a couple bass and then a pike, but ended up not keeping anything just because it's still early in the season. We have some fish from last year still in the freezer, so got to get through that first. But as far as getting out that maiden voyage, making sure everything worked, that was a success. All the battery stuff we hooked up all works, all the new electrical works, and then everything worked pretty good. There's a few things we have to refine, hooking up some of the graphs to each other, just so they talk and it's easier, and then also hooking the graphs up to the trolling motor so we have spot lock, everything like that. We also have to update one of the graphs, and then we also have to put a chip in one of the graphs. So we'll be doing that before we get out. We're probably going to get out later this week or next week, pretty early in the week. So I think we'll get out later this week. You'll see a video when that happens, but that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you guys would like to see anything else. There was a lot done to the boat, not as much fishing this week. Next week there'll definitely be more fishing done, but this week just a lot of stuff done to the boat, and it'll be for the better. Next time we'll go out, everything will be refined perfectly how we want it, and we'll be able to hammer some more fish. But good morning guys, we are about to get out and do some more fishing. I'm pretty excited for this time because we were able to get a few more things hooked up. We were able to get the network, the NEMA network, so that everything can basically talk to each other as far as the trolling motor, the graphs, everything like that. Now they can all communicate. We were able to get a few updates on the graphs. So everything should be a lot smoother this time. We'll have the spot lock and everything. So pretty excited to get out. It's, Thursday, beautiful day outside. It's going to be about 75 and sunny all day. So we should get on the fish pretty well. Hopefully we do, and stay tuned to see what ends up happening. Alright, welcome out to the lake. What we're going to be doing here is getting on those weeds out there, getting in them, throwing some bobbers in there with some minnows. Hopefully we get hammering on the crappies. We are out here today with my Uncle Peter and my dad. So we'll update you guys once we start hammering them. I gotta show these old guys how to fish, so I'll see you guys in a minute. What's up, guys? We got off the lake a little bit ago. Honestly, real tough day of fishing. I'm not entirely sure what it was. It was super sunny, was a bit windy. For crappies, that's not the most ideal, the windy part. Had no problems in the past catching them in conditions like today. Water temps were about 54 and a half, which I would expect them to be up in the reeds. Pretty shallow. They were the other day when I went out. I'm honestly not sure why they weren't. But we did have a decent day still out on the lake. That's something that I always say, a bad day of fishing is better than a good day of work. So hopefully next time we get out, we're able to get on them a little bit better, get some good fishing content. But I'm just gonna throw in at the end of this video this clip here, and I'm gonna have the past 2 fishing times thrown in before this, just so you can see kind of, you know, what we're doing. We're still working on getting some of the graphs set. Everything's in, everything works. We're just working on getting everything kind of working together, you could say. The trolling motor still needs to be hooked up to the graph. We got all the connections, we got the backbone, everything all hooked up. We just have to update the graphs. So I'm going to get some SD cards to do that. Once I update the graph, I can update the trolling motor. Once I update the trolling motor, I can sync everything up. That way we have spot lock, and we can route our course, everything like that. So yeah, I mean, overall, very successful week with the boat. Getting out on the lake a few times, can never complain about that. Like I said, bad day of fishing is better than a good day of work. I still haven't, you know, been out and just absolutely hammered everything this year, but that's part of it, right? Like, that's why it's called fishing. But you'll see these next few times. I'm really gonna do some more research on some lakes tonight. I've never fished that lake that I went to today outside of ice fishing, so you know, it's definitely different. But I'm gonna go switch a few things up. I'm gonna do some research tonight on some lakes around me. My dad and I will get out next week, and stay tuned for that video. Hopefully we can hammer some crappies. Usually we're not super big into crappie fishing. We do it a few times a year. Reason we're doing it now is because it's really the only thing that's open to fish for. Walleye doesn't open until May 9th, and we actually leave that day for Florida, which is a bummer, but bright side is we're going to be going to Florida. We're going to be doing some tarpon fishing down there, so stay tuned for that video as well. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap that video up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the first video on McClure's Fishing channel. You know, there's definitely a lot more videos to come. Let me know, you know, what you guys liked, what you didn't like, if it was a little too informational. If you'd like to see a little bit more behind the scenes of, you know, getting out to the lakes and you know, stopping at the gas station, whatever it is, just anything random, let me know. You know, any feedback now is good. Like I said, we're just getting into this, so this is our first video. As much help as I can get, be much appreciated. But with that being said, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, see ya.